Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am taking you through an exciting topic for the AMC examination, which is logic and imagination. In this session, I'll walk you through key strategies and techniques to solve previous year's questions effectively. So let's get started. Here is the first question, which is from AMC 8 2024, problem 12. Rohan keeps a total of 90 guppies in 4 fish tanks. There is one more guppy in the second tank than in the first tank. There are 2 more guppies in the third tank than in the second tank. There are 3 more guppies in the fourth tank than in the third tank. How many guppies are in the fourth tank? So let's just see. We have 4 tanks in total. And also if you see, the total guppies are 90. That means if we talk about the total, that is going to be 90. Now, what are they talking about the number of guppies in each? So we have no idea how much is in each tank. So let's assume in tank 1, we have X guppies, right? What about the second tank? So for the second tank, they say there is one more guppy than in the first tank. So that means in second tank, it is going to be whatever you have here in tank 1, 1 more than the first tank. So X plus 1. For the third tank, it says there are 2 more guppies in the third tank than the second tank. So whatever is in the second tank, the third tank is going to have 2 more than that. So X plus 1 plus 2. So that is going to be X plus 3. And what about the fourth tank? So there are 3 more guppies than in the third tank. So whatever you have in third tank, that is X plus 3. You're going to have 3 more now in the fourth one. So you're going to have X plus 3 plus 3. So that is going to be X plus 6. This is in the fourth tank, right? Now we need to find how many are there in the fourth tank. So that means we need to find X plus 6. Easy. That means we need to find what is X plus 6. Simple. So for that, let's just solve the equation. We have only one information that the sum of all is 90. In total, we have 90 guppies. So let's just add them. In tank 1, it was X. Tank 2, it was X plus 1. Tank 3, it was X plus 3. And last tank, we have X plus 6 guppies, which is equals to 90. Now let's do the simple calculation. So we get 4x, we collected the like terms, and then when we add the constants, we have 10, which is equals to 90. If you solve, you get 4x equal 90 minus 10, which is 80. And from here, we get x as 80 over 4, which is 20. So if x is 20, how much will be in the fourth tank? It will be, so therefore, x plus 6 is going to be 26. So that means in tank 4, we have 26 guppies, right? So can you tell me which option is correct? Yes, of course, it's option number E, right? So how simple it was. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is from AMC 8 2023, problem 4. The question says, the numbers from 1 to 49 are arranged in a spiral pattern on a square grid. You can see a square grid there down below on the extreme right, beginning at the center. So you can see the numbers are starting from the center, which is from here. Can you see this one? The first few numbers have been entered into the grid below. Consider the 4 numbers that will appear in the shaded squares. So you can see there are some shaded squares here. Can you see the gray shaded squares? Yes, we all can see that. On the same diagonal as the number 7. So obviously it's along the diagonal where we can see 7. How many of these 4 numbers are prime? So our task is to find all of these 4 and then tell how many are prime out of these 4 numbers, right? Not including the 7, okay? Just from these 4. So let's just find these 4 numbers and then we can pick up the prime numbers. Now, we need to just simply label the numbers from 1 to 49 and you can see how the spiral is moving. Can you see? So like the spiral is moving, just enter the numbers. Can you do this simple task? Yes, so while you do that and you check, you're going to get the grid like this. Okay, and do you see the numbers on the shaded square? Yes, we have four numbers, that's 39, 19, 23, and 47. Out of four, which one are primes and which are not primes? So we notice that 39 is not a prime number. Why? Because it is divisible by 3. And how do we check that? Just add the numbers and you will see it is divisible by 3. But what about the other three? 19, 23, and 47? Yes, they are all prime. So out of 4, we have 3 prime numbers. That means how many are correct as primes? Is it option A, B, C, D, E? Yes, that's correct. Option D. That means 3 numbers are prime. Yes, so simple. We move to our question 3, which is from AMC 8, 2014, problem 23. Three members of the Euclid Middle School girls softball team had the following conversation. Ashley says, I just realized that our uniform numbers are all two-digit primes. Bethany says, and the sum of your two uniform numbers is the date of my birthday earlier this month. Caitlin says, that's funny. The sum of your two uniform numbers is the date of my birthday later this month. Ashley then says again, and the sum of your two uniform numbers is today's date. So the question is, what number does Caitlin wear? Right? So let's just have a look how to solve this. From the question, we collected few information. First is that all uniform numbers are two-digit prime. And then from the conversation, what did we notice? That Bethany said the Ashley's uniform number and Caitlin's uniform number, sum of that is giving Bethany's birthday date, which is earlier this month, right? So we are getting birthday date for Bethany, which is earlier this month, right? Then Caitlin said the sum of Ashley and Bethany's uniform numbers is Caitlin's birthday date, which is later this month, right? And then Ashley said that the sum of Bethany and Caitlin's uniform number is actually today's date. So, did you notice that all the information, the sum of the uniform numbers for each one of them is giving you some date of the month, right? So, that means the date of a month cannot be exceeded than 31. So, can I say the sum of all the three possibilities should not exceed 31, right? Okay, now can you generate two-digit prime numbers whose sum is not exceeding 31? Can you think of those combinations? Let's just have a look. 11 plus 13. Both are primes and sum is not exceeding 31. What about this? Again, conditions are true. Again, they are primes and also the sum is not exceeding 31. Same goes with 13 and 17. So let me see what is the sum. 24, 28, 30, and this is also 30. Now, can you pick up which one should we select for labeling Ashley's, Caitlin's, and Bethany's uniform numbers, right? Don't forget, they have given us some information that birthday date for Bethany is earlier this month. For Caitlin, it is later this month. And Ashley says it's today's date. right? So that means for Ashley, what information we are getting, today's date should be somewhere in between the birthday dates of Bethany and Caitlin. So if I pick up 28 as today's date, let's say, then it means the birthday date for Bethany should be 24, which is earlier this month, before 28, and after 28 is 30, right? So that means definitely we can pick for the first equation, that is the birthday for the Bethany, right? I've written birthday B. But what about 30? We have two options. So which one to choose? This one or this one? Right? So we have to make sure that whatever we are picking should be correct. Now have a look at the combinations. If I pick this 30, look at the sum. It's 11 plus 19. And if I do that, all the three combinations will have 11 in each, which is not correct because the uniform numbers cannot be same, right? For any two members over there, right? So that means we have to discard this combination and pick the other one. All right, so we have to pick this 30, right? And that is your later month, right? So birthday for Caitlin. So birthday C. Now let's see how we are going to do the placement for each one of them. Okay, for today's date, we have Caitlin conversation, which is Ashley plus Bethany. How should I name it? So we have 11 plus 13. So let's see. I'm taking Caitlin as 11, Ashley as 13, right? Then I'm talking about birthday for Caitlin, 13 and 17. So 13 I have to keep with Ashley because obviously it has to be the same number, and 17 for Bethany. So if it is 17 for Bethany, then the third, that is today's one, Caitlin is 11. Right? So you can see it is actually matching with all the combinations. Okay? That means how we have ordered and we have given names to the uniform numbers, the digits are absolutely correct. The sum is also less than 31, less than equal to 31, and they're all two-digit primes. Okay? So from these combinations, now can you tell me what is the uniform number for Caitlin? Very, very clear. It is 11. Okay, so this is the answer. Let's just check. And yes, 11 is the correct answer. I hope this question was clear. Let's move to the next question. Very simple, and we just have to do the observation. How many rectangles are in this figure? So let's just start counting the number of rectangles. All right. Okay, so let's just talk about the first one. Can you see this rectangle? Right? I've given 1 to it. Okay? Then the next one. 2. Can you think about the 2? This is this one. Okay? I'm showing you on the right and I'm also highlighting it on the left. Third one is this. All right? Now, fourth one, which is this. Can you see that? Next, fifth one, which is the small rectangle. And next to that is the sixth one. Right? So we got 6 rectangles so far. Let's move further. Seventh one. So you can see the seventh one is here. Next, eighth. So can you see where is 8? The smaller one. Next up, we have 9. So 9 is this one. And we have the 10th one, which is this one. And now, what about 11th? We see one more rectangle, which is this one. Now you might say it's a square. So what? every square is a rectangle, isn't it? So that means this will be counted as a rectangle. So in total, how many rectangles we have? 11. Okay, so that means option D. That's correct. Let's move to the last question. But before that, I have a question for you, which is very similar to this question 4. And it says, how many triangles are in this figure? So do let us know. Think about it. You can take a screenshot and comment below how many triangles are there. Very similar to the previous question. Moving on to question 5, which is the last question. And it's from AMC 8, 2009, problem 4. The 5 pieces shown at right can be arranged to form 4 of the 5 figures below. Which figure cannot be formed? Very simple. You can see there are 5 pieces out there and we need to make some of the figures there out of these 5 options and which one you cannot make. So let me first name this as piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, piece 4 and piece 5 just to make it easy, right? Now have a look at option A. Can we form that? Let's see. So you can see piece 1 can be adjusted here because there are 5 blocks in it. Yes, the 5 squares. Then piece 2 can be part of this, the 4 squares. Along with that, piece 5 can come here, right? Then piece 3 can come here, okay? And then piece 4 can come here. So did you see that all the pieces can be covered and we are able to form A, right? But the question says the figure which cannot be formed. A can be formed, so let me write it. A can be formed. And how we did that? This was P1, this was P2, along with P5, and then we have P3, and then we have P4, right? So we covered all the pieces and we formed A. Similarly, please check for all of them. Which one won't be formed? Think, think, think. Okay, so let's check B, right? I cannot find piece 1, which is this, anywhere in my B option. Can you see any piece with 5 squares? No. Here also it's 3. Here it's 2. Here it's again 3. Here it is 4. But I cannot see any combination with 5. Maximum I can see it's 4. So that means what is missing out here? So it does not contain piece P1, right? So the moment any of the piece is missing, we say that the figure cannot be formed. So that means B option is correct. Why? Because it cannot be formed. And why it cannot be formed? Because it does not contain piece 1. And you can check by yourself and definitely do at home that why C is formed. Do check for C, B, and E, right? It's a fun task. Do check for CDE at home. Okay, so you will see option B is correct, right? That's it for today's session. And now I will remind you again to mark your calendars for the final video. It's the most crucial one to watch as you will learn the top 10 strategies for the AMC 8 exam that can make a real difference in your preparation. And if you have any questions about last papers, feel free to drop them in the comments. Don't forget to miss on the free worksheet and detailed class notes from today's session. They are available in our WhatsApp community. And to join that, just scan the QR code on the screen right here or click the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay focused and keep challenging yourself. Bye bye.